Greetings. My name is Steve Joel. I'm Superintendent of Schools in Lincoln, coming to you from a residential construction class site located in the northeast part of Lincoln. It's a program that is brought to Lincoln Public School students via Northeast, and it's an opportunity for our young people to actually participate in a course that leads to a finished product that will be in evidence for quite a number of years. The house that we're filming from is almost finished, probably 3 weeks from completion. These students have been working on it for the greater part of a year, and quite frankly, it is a thing of beauty. As you're going to hear in just a couple of minutes, we're going to hear from some students who are going to be describing why they have an interest in this particular program and what it means to them to build something that a family in Lincoln is going to utilize and live in and be very, very grateful for. Later, we're going to be speaking with Bob Fries, just a wonderful instructor who, while he probably could have done a lot of things in the building and trades and construction side of career, has chosen to work with kids. And for 17 years, he's been building houses and helping kids build houses. And there's many alums that today are employed in the construction industry or related fields that he stays connected with. And then following that, we'll be talking with Eric Knoll, who works out of LPSDO, and he's a curriculum specialist responsible for career and technical education. And he'll be sharing a little bit about why career and tech ed is so important for our kids. You know, in education today, we emphasize the 3 R's, and we emphasize assessments, and you know, we want students to have a great grounding in the fundamentals of academics, but we also want them to participate and experience in curriculum that is relevant to the things that they want to do in life. And we often talk in LPS about connecting kids to learning, because when they're connected to learning, they learn and they're able to apply it. And it's learning that has meaning, and it has a tendency to be long-term. You're going to see that in this program today, as hopefully you have in many, many other programs. But before we get to actually seeing the house and visiting with people, let me just tell you that we're wrapping up a school year, and coming off of the Easter break, you know, certainly we can see the end in sight. We've still got some assessment work that we're doing, and you know, it's been a great year, and by any measure. I've had a chance now to be in 57 schools, and I can tell you, as I've told you repeatedly through the course of this year, we have great staff, we have great buildings, we have great parental support, and we have great community partners. But you know, we received some bad news about several weeks ago with respect to state aid. The news was not what we expected, and honestly, we're having to really look at ourselves right now in terms of the loss of state aid, about $13.7 million off of a year ago, which represents $2 to $3 million more than what we expected. But not to worry, LPS has done a great job of planning. And we believe that we're in good position to weather at least the first year of the storm. Nonetheless, we have to tighten up our tool belts and really begin to ask some questions of ourselves, you know, in terms of where we're going to prioritize our funding. We're soon going to be in the midst of a strategic planning process, which I've spoken to on a number of occasions, because I believe that this is going to give us the vision, the direction, and the ability to prioritize our commitments in the future for a rapidly growing student population. We're excited about that. Our School Board of Education officially this week named the Vintage Heights facility or site the Cleft Corn building, and we're really excited about an upcoming groundbreaking with the family, and are just so appreciative to Mr. Cleft Corn and his family and his contributions to literacy in Nebraska. That'll be a great event. And then, you know, just graduation right around the corner, and want to just serve one more reminder amongst very, very many. It's a time to really take safety to a whole new measure, and to be careful and to celebrate, but let's make sure that everybody stays safe during this time of the year when it's going to get very, very busy and very, very hectic. And, you know, just know that we're extremely proud of our graduates, and very, very proud of our overall overall graduation rate. So it's been a very quick year. It's been a very energized year, and lots of things to celebrate in Lincoln Public Schools, but nothing more important than the work that we do with students. And so without much further ado, let's take a look at a program that's making a difference in the lives of kids and in the lives of community. So I'm just real curious. I mean, hammering, most of us learned how to hammer. The rest of the stuff we didn't. How many times you catch your fingers when you're out here?
Quite a few times.
Quite a few times. You guys got show. You got thumbs to show for it. Look at these things. You got wounds on the thumbs. Okay, so it's pretty cold today, but not too bad. You're wearing shorts. I'm freezing. What did you do in the wintertime?
Wore shorts.
You wore shorts in the wintertime? Were you outdoors too?
Yeah. This guy's kind of...
Well, that's today's youth. Shorts year-round in the Antarctic or in Florida. It doesn't make any difference. Is everything fitting okay?
Mm-hmm.
What about this gap right here?
It doesn't really need anything because we'll put something to hug it in afterwards.
Okay. So if this isn't done right, if the siding isn't done right, what happens?
Tear it down. Tear it down.
Tear it down? So does somebody go around and inspect this then to make sure you're doing it right?
He's standing right here.
He's standing right here? Yeah. We have the inspector right here. Huh?
Third year being in it.
Third year being in it, so you built 3 houses?
Yep.
So do you feel like you can go build your own house right now?
I wish.
All right, so how come this isn't sliding in, guys?
Good question.
What's the deal? Here, give me that. I'll take that. Let me take those nails. No, I'm just joking. I wouldn't do that. You having fun in this class?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? What do you like the best?
I think just getting out of school and doing something different, not just sitting in a classroom, actually working.
Seriously, getting out of school?
Yeah.
Being outdoors?
Yep.
Even in the cold?
Yep.
Wow. Plus you got something useful to show for your work, huh? So you leave here, you go back to classes at Northeast?
Yep. He goes to North Star back.
He goes to, you go to North Star? Okay, good. You drive yourself here every day? Yeah. Okay, good. All right. Well, very good. He's very impressive. I've got this tool belt on, but I'm liable to hurt myself. I can feel myself weighted down. Again, they didn't have these kind of classes when we were in school, so this is really neat to see you guys out here working and doing something so productive that it's going to make a difference in the lives of some people who sorely use it. So good work. Thanks for taking time to share. Well, now it gives me great pleasure to introduce 3 of our great construction students from Lincoln Northeast, although one of the gentlemen that we're going to be talking with is actually a student at another high school. And as you saw me just a few minutes ago, I had an opportunity to walk around the building and kind of see what these guys are doing. In some ways I felt like I was in the way because they're men on a mission. I mean, they've got a timeline here. Schools are rapidly approaching the end, and this house, which is going to be a beautiful, beautiful building, is soon going to be occupied by a family that will make great use of it. So the first student I'm going to introduce to our audience is Josh. Josh, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I started this class back in September. The skill experience in building a house and see what it was like, and something I like to pursue someday.
Is this something that you grew into through some family kinds of things? I mean, you've always had construction in the back of your mind?
Yeah, I've been working construction since I was probably 3. My grandpa owns a construction business, so I've always been around it, always been in it, always was fascinated by it.
So what's been the most challenging thing for you on this particular job?
Not much really. I mean, I just enjoy doing it, so no, it comes really easy to me.
Have you made any mistakes that caused you to have to maybe rip off some sheeting or drywall or anything like that?
Yeah, I've done a couple of mistakes, especially on casing.
One of the things that all of us that have been around for a while know that with every mistake we learn something new. What new have you learned out here?
You gotta really be detailed. You gotta really, if you're off a little bit, you can make the rest of the house be off. So.
Next, I'd like to introduce Zach. And Zach, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a senior at North Star, and I just joined the class like Josh said, went back in September, and I've been around construction all my life, so my dad built houses for a while, so this comes all natural to me.
So before we go into, how much you like this class, how did you find out about this class from North Star?
My counselor, and I worked with a teacher that actually works with Mr. Freeze here. She recommended that I go into it because she knew that I had grew up around construction and stuff. So she really thought I'd like it, and she recommended that I go into it.
What's the time commitment for you? I know you got a little bit of a commute. Is this a half a day? Is this a whole day program or a half a day program?
This is a half-a-day program, so I just go to school in the mornings and I come here for a period and then I go back.
Okay. So what are you taking back at North Star then? What are your courses?
I just have 2 student assistants in the morning. I come here for the class and then I go back for 1 class and then I'm finished for the day.
So in terms of what you've learned out on this in this class, I'm assuming you're going to get an A because you've got such an interest and a great background in it. What has this meant to you to be a part of this?
It means a lot, knowing that someone's really going to get some good use out of it and that they're going to have a home to live in. So it just feels really good that I'm helping somebody else out.
In a lot of ways, when you think about it, I know you're getting academic credit and it's being applied toward graduation, but this in a lot of ways is a form of community service because it's going to help a family that needs the help, and they're going to get a new house to live in. So any problems on the job site? You look like a guy that's pretty savvy, but you were showing the thumbs before. You don't have too many wounds.
No, just you got to make sure you're precise. You have to have a good eye on what you're doing. Otherwise, it might turn out wrong or it won't look just right. So just got to make sure you get everything put together right and hope it comes out good.
And it sounds like you've got a career for yourself planned in construction trades. Anything specific, college or, go to work right after high school? What are you planning?
What I'm planning is just graduate, and then I'm already applied to college. So I'm just hoping to get right in after high school and start working.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Zach. Appreciate you taking the time. I know how much you hate to be taken off the job site. Next, we have Kenny, and Kenny is going to tell us a little bit about himself.
I'm from Seoul, South Korea, and I came over to the U.S. when I was the age of 5. And then I came here with my mom, and then we moved to Lincoln, Nebraska. And then I got adopted to another family.
Why'd you get interested in this class?
My dad owned a couple of apartments, so I was thinking about taking this class while he was suggesting it also. And I like to help him work on the apartments that we own.
Okay. And so what do you like most about what you're doing out here?
Group work, like helping each other out. Like when we're having a hard time, like another person helps you out.
And you said you're a senior or junior? You're a junior at Lincoln Northeast. And are you thinking about a career at all in building and trades?
Kind of. It's in the middle, really.
I have one more question I need to ask, Kenny, and that is that did they wear shorts in Seoul, South Korea in the wintertime as well as they do in America?
I don't really remember.
Oh, okay. Well, I have to tell folks that are listening, it's a little cold here today. In fact, that's why I have my jacket on. But there's 3 or 4 of these young guys that are out in shorts, and they told me that regardless of the temperature or the weather conditions, they wore shorts all year long. So that's kind of a sign of the times. But the work here is very good, and congratulations for being part of the program. Best wishes to you as you go forward. So thank you. Gives me great pleasure to introduce to our audience and members of the Lincoln community the builder of this particular program at Lincoln Northeast, Bob Freeze. Bob, welcome, and thanks so much for spending time with us today and giving us an opportunity to introduce this great program to our community. Let's start by you telling us a little bit about yourself and your career with Lincoln Public.
Okay, well, I've been with Lincoln Public Schools. This is my 28th year, and I've been teaching some form of carpentry for the past 27 years at Northeast. When we first started, we built sheds and room additions, garages, things like that. And then about 20 years ago, we started to build houses and formed this partnership with the Lincoln Housing Authority 17 years ago. And since we started building houses, it's been a great experience. Great experience for me, great experience for kids, and has had, I think, a positive impact on the community as well.
You know, Bob, I had a chance to meet you last summer when Kathy Danick drove me out, and she said, you've got to see what we do at Lincoln Public. And I knew then that you've got a big heart for kids and a big heart for community service. But, you know, you're in the kind of, you've got the kind of skill set that you would be marketable in a variety of places. But yet you've chosen to stay in education. Why?
Well, I had been working construction years ago and was laid off, went down to help at Bryan Learning Center. I knew a shop teacher there, and he asked, invited me to come by. And I went and just started working with kids, and I thought, this is really good. I had done a lot of things in my life where I worked with my hands. I really enjoy working with my hands. And I had also done things where I'd worked with kids. And being an industrial tech teacher gave me the opportunity to combine those two things together. And if I could have designed an ideal job when I first started, it would have been this job where I actually get to go out and build houses with kids, teach them how to do things, and have a positive impact in the community at the same time.
What an awesome message. And the young men that I interviewed all said the same thing. They feel like they're giving back to the community. Okay, so let's talk about the program in terms of how it fits in a high school experience. On the one hand, I think to myself, okay, if a student wakes up in the morning and loves the outdoors and likes to work with their hands, then this is the right kind of class for them. How do you get kids involved in this program? I mean, we have curriculum requirements at school, and kids have busy schedules, and yet these guys they seem to love it. How do we connect with them at Lincoln Northeast or Lincoln North Star?
Well, I try to find kids who have some kind of interest in doing these kinds of hands-on activities and are interested in getting out of school part of the day. They really like that aspect of it. So for me, this connects to so many different trades in construction, and over the years I've seen kids go into a variety of different construction trades. What we do in this class is we don't turn out expert carpenters, but we try to give them an exposure to the entire building process. And hopefully along the way they'll find something they're interested in. Not every kid is destined to be a doctor or a lawyer. We need people to work in various trades. We need, if you've got a problem with your toilet, you don't call your lawyer, you call your plumber. There's always going to be work for plumbers. My dad was a plumber. I grew up helping him clean, snake out sewers and put in hot water heaters and all that stuff. So it's, people have made a very good living with these trades. I've seen people be very, very successful in the construction industry. So I'm trying to provide them with an opportunity to look at some career options which could lead to very fulfilling careers for them, where they could do something positive, they can make a good living for their family, they'll be taxpayers, they'll be good citizens. Because I don't think every kid is destined, as I said, to be a doctor or a lawyer.
And our job as educators is to connect kids to something of interest so that they can develop the skills to become productive citizens, as you just articulated, which I think is great. I'm sure that students that have come through this program have gone on and become successful. Maybe you've got a couple of folks that own construction companies. Do you ever bring back alums to talk to these kids about career opportunities?
Well, I try to take advantage of it if they happen to be in the area. We've had, on this one, the plumber was a guy that was in a class for one of the first houses we built. Last year, the guy who did the countertops was a guy I'd had several years before. We've had electricians who've been in the program. Once in a while, people will stop by. They happen to be out in the community and they see that school van, they're driving past and they'll stop. So I haven't really been inviting them to come back, but I always try to take advantage of whoever is on the site, even if it wasn't a former student. If there's a tradesperson on the site, talk to us a little bit about what it's like to do your occupation. And, you know, what kinds of things did you need to know before you started it? And is this something you enjoy doing? Why do you like it? You know, what's hard about it? What's good about it?
You know, I talking with the students and getting to walk around the site a little bit, I noticed that you know, teaching a little math, you know, probably a little bit of science, definitely some communication, and some of the life skills, show up on time, you know, work during your time, and, you know, be courteous and kind of responsible. And you know, it seems like what you're teaching in this program is exactly what we believe all kids should be taught in Lincoln Public Schools.
Yeah, it's really important to be able to work with other people, and we all work together. You know, this is a little different than a class where you're all sitting at desks. I mean, it's hands-on. We wear tool belts every day. We're out there, you know, like today, it's muddy out. It's not, maybe not ideal, but it's pretty nice. There have been plenty of days that were a lot worse. So, you know, but I think that whole idea that it's important to work with other people and get along with other people. And, you know, what I've noticed is that kids they're pretty adaptable to that. They do a pretty good job of getting along with each other and working with each other. Maybe when we started the class, not all of them were best friends. You know, maybe there was a little tension. But as time goes on, you know, you're out there working together in the mud or on a cold day, and you're helping the other guy out. Pretty soon, you know, a lot of those barriers break down, and kids do get along with each other. So I think, certainly in my job, I interact with a lot of different people every day. And I know that's an important skill, is to be flexible and to be able to get along with other people. The same skill is necessary for these students.
And they definitely like making noise, as you can hear. So, Bob, you know, just a great pleasure. I'm having a flashback to something my father once told me. He was a New York City policeman, but he was also a carpenter, a little bit of an electrician, and he was forever trying to get me to help him around the house. And I wanted to go play ball, I mean, or I wanted to go hang, you know, with my friends, and, you know, believe it or not, go to the library and read a book. And I'll never forget his famous line to me was, someday, and this is when I was like 9 or 10 or 15, he said, someday you better make enough money because you're going to be paying people like me to do this stuff for you. And how prophetic and right he was. These are great careers. These are smart kids. And they're in a program that's making a difference not only in their lives in terms of giving them options, working collaboratively, and understanding, you know, how you succeed on projects, but they're making a huge difference in the lives of people in the community too. And Bob Fries, one of our great educators in Lincoln Public, connects with kids with curriculum and real life experiences, and kids will remember this. And unlike a math test that we all took, 17 houses mean that at some point these students will come back and look at their finished product, and they'll look at it and they'll see kids in the yard, and they'll see grass planted, and they'll feel really good about what they've done. Thank you for making a difference in the lives of so many young people.
Thank you.
Now we have with us Eric Knoll, a curriculum specialist, has a major responsibility in the career and technical education opportunities for all students of Lincoln Public Schools. Welcome to the show, Eric. Why don't we start by just having you tell us a little bit about yourself and your career with LPS.
Well, I started with LPS back in 1983. Taught at Lincoln High School for 25 years. And I've been at the district now the last 4 years working with teachers and curriculum and the industrial tech as well as the career and tech ed departments.
And you've had some experience with the buildings and trades component of what we offer kids?
I did. Back in 84, 85, we started building a duplex, and the district got scared to death for liability purposes. We're out there doing these crazy things. And then we got tied in with NeighborWorks Lincoln and started building houses with them. And then the Housing Authority soon came on, and it's been a great program throughout the district.
So when the district was making plans or thinking about a program such as this, what was the compelling factor? What were we really looking for in terms of creating this kind of an opportunity?
Well, I think we were looking for real life experiences. We were looking for great problem solving exposures for students, and we're looking for career path exposure as well. You know, giving them the opportunity to explore some career paths. You
know, career and technical education, I think, is often not understood by people. You know, we have a tendency to really focus on the reading and the writing and the math and, you know, the other things that we do. But we know today that so many opportunities for kids exist if we can connect them to their learning. Why don't you talk about career and tech ed just as an overview of LPS and, you know, kind of where we are and where you think we ought to be going?
Sure. We, you know, the buzzwords we hear a lot are rigor and relevance. You know, we want to be rigorous in what we do and we want to be relevant. And the question really is relevant to whom? And I think what we're doing is becoming relevant to the student. And these are some students we just saw that are excited about this career path. They're exposed to the relevance of, you know, building a house, all the aspects that come with that. You know, I challenge somebody to say that's not rigorous as you go to build your own home or you go to, you know, do an addition on your home. This is a very rigorous field and a challenging field from that respect. So rigor and relevance, I think the exciting part about these programs, I think of career and tech ed in general, is that we're really connecting with students and what's relevant to them.
And what are some other opportunities that students have or we have to connect with students around the district?
Boy, there's all sorts of opportunities. I think of foods and wellness in family and consumer science and the health occupations classes that are geared towards students that are interested in those occupations in the health field. I think of our Project Lead the Way program with pre-engineering curriculum that's you know, exciting and college level material. I think of another one would be you know, finance. We have personal finance, and then the technology skills that are being taught throughout career and tech ed. So there's just a tremendous amount of opportunity for students in career and tech education.
You know, we want all of our students to succeed, and we know that we're grooming them, if you will, for a rapidly changing world. I mean, how do we know or have an idea of what the jobs of tomorrow are going to be with technology changing so dramatically?
That is a challenge. You know, the other buzzwords is college and career ready, right? We're college and career ready. Ready for what and which college and what career? And so I think the more exposure students can get in high school to what their interests are and then what the connections are to the college opportunities for them, the better those students are prepared to be productive citizens in our society.
Well, Eric, thank you so much for being a part of the show. You know, and as we wrap up this presentation, it dawns on me, and I wanted to resonate with our constituents and our parents and our students that, you know, Lincoln Public Schools has opportunities, academic opportunities, career and technical opportunities, socialization opportunities, extracurricular opportunities for every student to connect themselves, as you so aptly described, in a rigorous and in a relevant way so that it has meaning. And if you take a program like we saw today and you give students a year to build something that will stand the test of time, but even more importantly, they've worked together to solve problems, they've learned a skill and a trade, and they've committed themselves to community service, that's relevant. And so as we close out, I would just say, again, another example of great educators that we employ in Lincoln Public Schools who put kids first, who think about what kids need today, but even more importantly, what kids are going to need tomorrow to be successful citizens. And then students, of course, that come here with parental support and community support and connect to something with purpose. And, you know, we believe very, very strongly that education must have purpose, and certainly this program has great purpose. We have great partners, and I look for this to continue on into the future and perhaps be expanded if there's interest in Lincoln. So with that, we'll sign off from this segment, and to just say thank you to Lincoln for your support of this program, and we'll look forward to bringing you other great examples of education in action.
This has been a presentation of Lincoln Public Schools. A monthly programming guide may be found at www.lps.org.